Hello students, in today's video we will learn about the control characteristics of power semiconductor devices. So we have learned in the previous video regarding the various types of power semiconductor devices which belongs to diodes family, thyristor family and transistor family. So here we will have a look into the control characteristics of few of those power semiconductor devices. So first circuit is the one where we have thyristor as our semiconductor device. So as you know, the thyristor has three terminals: anode, cathode and gate. So how actually it works? When anode voltage is greater than the cathode voltage, the thyristor is forward biased. On forward bias, if we apply the gate signal, the device is going to conduct. So let us look how actually this circuit works. So on applying the input voltage Vs, the input voltage Vs being greater than your cathode terminal, that is anode voltage greater than your cathode voltage, the thyristor is forward biased. Assuming this, we will apply a gate signal to the thyristor. Always remember, the gate signal which we are applying to the thyristor terminal, gate terminal, should be a pulse. It should not be a continuous signal. It is a pulse signal. So you can observe here, it is a positive pulse. And the input over here is DC. So the input here you can consider a DC voltage having magnitude Vs. Fine. So now how the circuit works. On applying this positive signal to the gate, the thyristor will conduct. Once the thyristor conducts, the voltage drop across this is very less, say around 0.7 to 0.9. For time being, we neglect that drop, assuming an ideal switch. We neglect the drop. So once it conducts, the current flows through the circuit. Okay, the voltage drop V0 or the output voltage V0 across the load resistor R is nothing but equal to Vs, because we are neglecting the 0.7 drop. So on applying a positive pulse, our output voltage is Vs. You can observe that even after the gate pulse is removed, your output voltage will be as it is. It is not going to vary. That means to say, even if there is no pulse gate signal, the thyristor will continue to conduct. Again, you can observe here a positive pulse is applied. So it does not have any effect on the thyristor. It is continuing in the conduction mode. And you can observe here there is a negative pulse which is applied to the gate. That means you are reversing its supply. Then also the thyristor will continue to conduct. That is because once the thyristor starts conducting, irrespective of whatever gate signal you are applying, it will continue to conduct, provided it is a DC signal. If it is an AC signal, so if it is an AC signal, you will have input like this, right? So at this particular point, automatically when the input crosses 0, automatically your thyristor will turn off. But in this case, our input signal is DC. That's why it will not turn off. It is not going to turn off on the DC signal. So what can be done to turn off? So to turn off, the anode voltage has to be less than the cathode voltage. That is, anode voltage should be less than the cathode voltage, or some external circuit has to be used to turn off the thyristor. That is called as commutation circuit. Commutation circuit is the additional circuit which is used to turn off the thyristor. So I repeat it. So if you have a thyristor in the circuit, on applying the gate signal, positive gate signal, the thyristor starts to conduct. On thyristor conduction state, its drop is 0.7 to 0.9. Assuming an ideal switch, we neglect this drop. So your output voltage V0 will be equal to the input voltage, which is equal to Vs. So even if you reverse the polarity of the gate signal, it is not going to affect. You have to use an external circuit to turn off the thyristor. If it is an AC signal, on every zero crossing, the thyristor will turn off. So we'll next move on to the one more semiconductor device. So again we have static induction thyristor, gate turn off thyristor, MOS controlled thyristor. If you remember in the previous session, what I have explained you is it has three terminals similar to thyristor, anode, cathode and gate. So it will be forward biased if anode voltage is greater than the cathode voltage. But to conduct, you need to apply a pulse signal to the gate terminal. So if you consider SITH, this is the gate terminal, this is the gate terminal for GTO, this is the gate terminal for MOS controlled thyristor. This is the symbol of GTO, symbol of SITH, symbol for MCT, MOS controlled thyristor. So here, how it is different from thyristor is, on applying a positive signal to the gate terminal, the device is going to conduct. Okay. Then if you reverse the polarity, if you are applying a negative voltage to the gate terminal, then the device turns off. So here also our input voltage is DC. It is Vs. So on applying a negative gate signal, the device is turned off. So there is no current flowing through the load and your output voltage is 0. So again you can observe here, on applying a positive pulse, the device will conduct and you have output voltage across the load. Hope this is clear. And the one thing is here, this thing is applicable. This control characteristic is applicable for GTO, MTO. MTO is MOS turn off thyristor, ETO, which is emitter turn off thyristor, IGCT, which is integrated gate commutated thyristor. So for all this, the control characteristics is same. Next we have BJT. When compared to your thyristor, here we apply the base signal. Instead of gate signal, we need to apply the base signal so that the transistor will conduct. And here we are supposed to apply continuous signal, not gate signal. For transistor family, the signal which is required for its conduction is continuous type signal. Clear? Now again we assume a DC input voltage. We assume a DC input voltage with magnitude Vs, fine, and we apply a continuous signal of duration T1, of time seconds T1 to this base. Then the transistor will conduct. The voltage across the output V0, that is the voltage across the resistor R, that is output voltage V0, is equal to Vs neglecting this drop. Okay, so VB on applying the output voltage V0 is equal to Vs. So T1 to T is your off period. Okay, the BJT is not conducting. So BJT will not conduct during this period. Here it is off. During this interval, the BJT is on. So here you get the output voltage. In this area, you don't have the output voltage. Is that clear? So next is MOSFET and IGBT. Both are voltage control devices. Here again we assume the input voltage to be DC supply. We need to apply gate signal with respect to source. Here again you need to apply a continuous type signal. Okay, continuous type signal. When the signal is given to the gate terminal, it is on. When the signal is not applied, then this device will not conduct. It is in the off state. So accordingly, we get the output voltage either equal to Vs or equal to 0. This is the DC voltage. DC with magnitude Vs. So now we'll summarize. We have seen thyristors, transistors. For thyristors, in order to conduct, we need to apply a pulse signal to its gate, whereas for a transistor family, for it to conduct, we need to apply a continuous signal to its base terminal. So the power semiconductor devices, switching device, it can be classified based on several parameters. So the first one is uncontrolled turn on and turn off. That means if you have a diode on applying the input signal to the across the anode cathode, the device will turn on. If you don't apply the signal across anode cathode, it will turn off. You are not controlling it. The supply, whatever you are going to apply to the circuit, that itself will either turn on or turn off the device. So uncontrolled turn on and turn off is diode. The next is controlled turn on. What is meant by controlled turn on? You are applying a gate signal to the thyristor. This SCR is otherwise known as thyristor. So for a thyristor, you apply a gate signal. You are controlling it. That's why it is known as controlled turn on. Whereas once the device starts to conduct, you cannot turn it off. So it is an uncontrolled turn off. Either it should be a AC supply or you should have an extra or additional circuit to turn it off. So the semiconductor device which is having a controlled turn on and uncontrolled turn off is thyristor. Next is controlled turn on and turn off. So say under thyristor family we have GTO, SITH, wherein on applying positive signal to the gate it will turn on. If you apply negative signal to the gate it will turn off. Similarly, BJT, MOSFET, IGBT and static induction transistor, if you apply a continuous base signal it will turn on. If you remove the base signal it will turn off. So controlled turn on and turn off characteristics is for this semiconductor device. And for all transistor family devices, you need to have a continuous gate signal. For all the thyristor family devices, you need to apply a pulse gate requirement or a pulse signal to the gate. Next, bipolar voltage withstanding capability. That means if you apply negative voltage across the anode cathode, the device will be reverse biased. Okay, a small amount of leakage current will flow. It will not turn off. So it can withstand positive side voltage and also negative voltage. Unipolar voltage withstanding capability. That means for this particular devices, sorry, it is not GTO, it is for BJT, MOSFET, IGBT and MCT. You have to apply a positive voltage. It will not work with your negative voltage. Next is bidirectional current capability. Bidirectional current capability means, suppose you take an example of this triac. Triac is tri-electrode AC semiconductor switch. It is nothing but two thyristors. Say this is your thyristor, okay? This is one thyristor. You will have one more thyristor which is connected in anti-parallel like this. This is the triac. Clear? Its symbol for triac is this is your cathode, this is anode. Sorry, not anode and cathode. You have to name it as main terminal 1, main terminal 2, and this is your gate. This is for the triac. So current can flow either in this direction or in this direction. That's why it is bidirectional current carrying device. Next comes unidirectional current carrying devices. So SCR, GTO, BJT, MOSFET, any semiconductor device which carries current in only one direction or which conducts in only one direction, you call it as unidirectional current carrying device. So here you can have an overall summary of the device types. Okay, diode family, transistor family, thyristor family. These are the semiconductor devices. Here it indicates that it requires a continuous gate signal. You can observe here transistor family, all devices require continuous base signal, whereas thyristor family it requires a pulse gate requirement. And you can see which devices are having controlled turn on, which devices are having controlled turn off, unipolar voltage, bipolar voltage, unidirectional current carrying devices, bidirectional current carrying devices. Next is the ratings. So in this table you can observe the typical voltage and current ratings and the upper frequency and switching time of power diodes, power transistors and thyristors. Hope this concept is clear to you. So overall summarizing, you can use the semiconductor devices for switching. So few devices require pulse signal for conduction. Few devices require continuous signal for conduction. So you operate the semiconductor device either in on state or off state. That is either in the cutoff region or in the saturation region for switching applications.